Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Let's bring down the sound here. Okay, so I think we can hear each other. All right, so here we go. This is month in review. A new month has rolled on by. June 2026 is in the rearview mirror. So what did we do with this month? Well, let's dig into it on my channel and, some other stuff that I'm willing to share with you. I'm not going to share my personal work life because it's boring and subjective and has little value to the general audience out there. So let's get into my thrift store finds, because that's what I'm about here. So I picked up this Acer Aspire 5746Z-4986 laptop. Of course, you can look any of this stuff up on my channel. It's all there. But yeah, I found this thing and I refurbished it. And yeah, it runs Windows 7. It's a decent laptop. It's nice and big. You'll notice it has the number pad, so it's nice and wide screen, which, believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize is actually something that's valuable when you're running a lot of applications. Here we go. This is a really cool find. This was the Pavilion DV7-4273 US laptop I found at the thrift store. There's also a video about that, of course, you can look up, but yeah, I was really happy with that find. It turned out to be a lot better than I actually expected. Very little use on this one, mint shape, very cool little laptop, or not little, big laptop, nice wide. It's sort of this is the era when they were trying to make laptops that were almost like desktop replacements. I was really happy with this find. This is a holy grail of sorts that I'd been looking for years. This is a ThinkPad T60, and these laptops are really quite impressive back in the day. You can see it's running Windows Vista, but it's actually designed for Windows XP. So there'll probably be a video coming up about this laptop in July because I haven't fully completed the refurb on it. But yeah, this is a great find. I was really happy to find it. It's kind of a smaller laptop in a sense because of the way it's configured, but yet has that great old ThinkPad keyboard and a lot of things that I really like about the old IBM ThinkPads. Still has the IBM branding, although at this point it was kind of headed toward Lenovo. I think they had taken over. I actually remember that transition because I was working in a big IT department, huge, like nationwide company, and we were transitioning from IBM to Lenovo. We used to actually, believe it or not, run these gigantic server type systems. It's hard to really explain what they were like, but they were giants and they required a whole room with dedicated AC cooling them. They had these big tape drives. You don't understand the scope of these computers running these IBM systems back in the day, these business machines. And they basically ran, the POS systems for a nationwide company. And it was huge. They were huge, but they actually, they didn't do a lot, but what they did do right, they did really well. And back in the day, they got the job done in the 70s and 80s. But yeah, I remember transitioning to these smaller, like basically blade servers, and then we started bringing in these little desktop systems, really small IBM systems, and IBM laptops, and all our executives had IBM laptops. And then, you know, it switched over to Lenovo. They took over. So I remember all that transition back in the day. Anyway, this was one of those laptops. I remember one of my bosses had one of these. I thought, wow, that's a cool laptop. I really like this laptop. And myself, I was just like running around servicing the system. So I don't really have a laptop because I was more involved with the actual servicing of the individual systems, desktops, and so forth. I did a lot of troubleshooting with these laptops, but they didn't issue me one because that wasn't my function in the greater corporate structure, if that makes sense, as an IT tech. Enough about that. I always thought this was a really cool laptop, and I found one at the thrift store for really cheap. Another story that nobody asked for. Yeah, the reason why I picked this up, the only reason, is it gave me a fan error warning, which is never a good thing. But basically, I saw it at one point. I thought, no, I'm not gonna buy it. It's got this fan warning. Then I bought a Toshiba Windows 7 laptop, and it wouldn't even boot. Brought it back. They made a big issue about me returning it and swapping it out, but they let me pick up this thing. And I thought, well, it's fucked, but maybe I can get it working. Well, as it turns out, the fan spins up. It's the sensor that looks for the fan RPM that seems to be giving me like a warning, but it is running great, like in terms of the temps, and the fan speed's good. So it's just a quirk of the system. It's so old, but yeah, we'll get into that in July. Here we go. This is one I just recently did, but this was a laptop that I found. I bought. It's also Windows XP system. I generally don't buy Windows XP systems, but when they have a SATA drive and they have a dual core CPU, then I make the exception there, because they're still pretty decent machines. I really like this one. Check out my video I just posted today if you're interested in that sort of stuff. Yeah, here we go. So I got into these TV boxes this month, and yeah, these things are really cool. Like, they're basically little mini computers. And if you could get a Linux system booting off them, they'd be very much like a Raspberry Pi. But since I already have two Raspberry Pis, Raspberry Pi 3s, these are about the same technology. I decided to finally just give up on trying to boot them to Linux and just run the Android system on them. So these little projects were really kind of fun, because it was like the challenge of how do you make this take this e-waste and turn it into a little desktop computer. My goal was I didn't want to have to go online at all. I wanted to run things from, like, store my files on a USD flash drive. Well, I actually accomplished that, and I was impressed with each one of these desktop little boxes and what they could really do. So some are more capable than others. Some have octa-cores, most of them have quad cores, some have a lot more storage, some have a lot more RAM. But when you look at a Pi 3, you start to realize, you know what, Pi 3s are pretty crappy. These things are running pretty much the same specs. A lot of them are like twice the specs. So these are actually pretty cool machines. And it gave me a chance to really dig into the Android system. Now, some of these boxes from the factory ship with basically malware. They basically hook you up to a botnet network that basically hijacks your internet, and they're not worth even like looking into. This is one of them. I decided after looking into it, it's so locked down, it doesn't run. The old Android 5 and 6 systems you could do a lot with, and a lot of them came from the factory rooted. This one did not come rooted, nor was I able to do anything with it. So it's really just a malware device that the Chinese manufacturers sold on the market. and basically took it apart, looked into it, saw what I could get out of it, not much, and chucked it. Like basically took it, deposited it at the recycle center. Because there's some tech that is just, the newer it gets, the worse it gets. The old stuff, the Android 5 and 6 systems, lots of potential. This thing was locked down so bad I couldn't do anything with it. So, is new better? Not always. This is a vertical mouse. Got another one of these things. It was a gaming mouse month. I got this guy. Great mouse. A Razer Viper. Got this one. Got this. It's a Redragon 10,000 DPI mouse. Got this, which is a SteelSeries Rival 3. This is probably one of the best mice I've found so far. Currently using it. Great mouse. Found a mechanical keyboard. Very standard, sort of 10 keyless. Love it. Works great. One of the things you start to realize is if you have all these these keyboards, these mechanical keyboards, they generally don't come with if they came with a palm rest or a wrist rest, they don't have them when you get them from the thrift store. Very few do. In this particular case, I picked up a Logitech G513 keyboard palm rest, and I also picked up a 3M gel rest, which I'm using right now, and it is very comfortable to use as a palm rest. And these things, I think, honestly, if you're using your keyboard a lot, pick one of these up, and especially when they're under $5. They're well worth it. I also picked this up, which is a ThinkPad dock that allows you to run 2 monitors through a USB 3 port. So it's ideal for these a bit newer ThinkPads that have a USB 3 port that goes into this thing, and it'll split it into 2 monitors. So I'm going to experiment with that probably in July or at some point to see how that works. Very cool. Okay, let's get into the movies I watched. I watched Drive. Very unusual movie from 2011. I recommend it if you are into... Well, it's a bit violent, just so you know, but the story is interesting. The way it's shot, the way the story is told, I really liked it. Recommendation, by the way, from... Oh, what's the guy's name? Mike McGee TV. Actually, a lot of these are related to watching his videos and thinking, oh, I've never seen that. And I basically got a hold of these videos and watched them. Lost Highway was another one. Mulholland Drive. This one here, this is like a weird sort of, I don't know. It's like they decided to go with like a, am I going to say 50s look to this thing? Yeah. Very different. I'm not a big fan of all these comic book movies, but this one was kind of stood out from the most of them. Mandalorian, I went to the theater to watch this one. I went to the VIP lounge or whatever they call it, and with some friends, and yeah, I had a good time watching this, and especially at the VIP lounge because you can order food and drinks and stuff and just chill out, and I don't know, it was more of an event. It costs a few bucks, but I enjoyed it. This is a weird movie, and I loved it. I loved it. It's called The Wolf of Snow Hollow from 2020. It's kind of like they classify it as a comedy horror. I gotta say, it definitely has its comical moments. Like I remember some of the delivery of some of these lines were awesome. And if you haven't seen this movie and you have it on like a streaming service or something, take a minute out, watch it. It's pretty good. Like I found it pretty good. I enjoyed it. Watched Alien Earth, the series. Different. I like the fact that they just didn't go with the same old. Like I've noticed, like the movies go through the same repetition of the exact same story that from the 70s was so iconic. This one, it adds a lot of dimensions, adds a lot more to the whole world of Alien, if you know what I mean. And as a miniseries, I enjoyed it. And I like the fact that they focus more on people than just the alien. So that worked for me. Twin Peaks, revisited this because, of course, David Lynch. Been on a David Lynch binge. So I restarted watching this, the first 2 seasons and then the final Weirdo season. And I love this movie series from its sort of break from convention. You got to think from the standpoint, like in the 80s and 90s, what TV was, and how this thing introduced something completely different, which actually allowed for the X-Files to really exist. Because before Twin Peaks, I don't know if they would have actually got behind the whole concept of the X-Files. And I also started rewatching that series because it's they almost link together to me. I've been slowly watching with friends this series, slowly creeping through that. Speaking of Creep Show, and continuing to watch that series. I've been revisiting Special Unit 2. If you don't know what that is, it was an old series that was shot in Vancouver here, sort of a supernatural thing. I enjoy it. It's kind of fun. It's very much a product of its time, around 2000, I think. Also in the 80s, they redid the Twilight Zone, and I've been suffering that, and honestly, I'm kind of done with it. I didn't even get through the whole thing, but it's really so 80s that it's really hard for me to stomach. And I can say the same thing for The Amazing Spider-Man. Been trying to watch that, and even worse, The Secrets of ISIS, which was a 70s kid show. Wow, hard to watch. That's all I'll say. Been reading stuff, so this is I do a lot of reading at night to put myself to sleep. So this is one I completed, and also one I completed, and this is sort of the foundation, or the books that were involved that spawned the series Silo on Apple TV. I really liked the whole series of 3 books. They kind of dip a little bit in their speed and pacing and quality, but I would give it a try if you're interested in seeing how the author wrote the stories before the series. And let's go through quickly what I went through in June on YouTube. Obviously a review like this one. I found this MacBook. You can check that out on my channel. Some shopping. Some more keyboards. Yeah, pretty much covering stuff. Went into like some old music. And of course, went through all these boxes. Found this, of course. Boxes, more music. Boxes. It's all been about these TV boxes for me this time around, because it was something new to me, and my goal was, can I make a desktop PC out of a Android box? It was like a challenge. It kind of captivated me. I really loved it. It was a fun project. So that's going to be it for this month in review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate you as a viewer, and I'll see you in the next one.